Oh, it's finally nice to get a clean shave and a haircut. Especially a shower too. You know, being on the floor for months on end makes you pretty ripe by the end. But anyway, let's check out this movie that was found outside my door. Let's see how it is.
Dark Universe? The cover looks promising. It has an alien and International Space Station on it. So I'm guessing that this is another one of those alien ripoffs that are just trying to join the bandwagon. But I've never seen this before or even heard of it. Even the rating is weird. It just says EM for extreme mature. I believe it has something to do with the fact that the MSRB did not rate this, so they put their own rating on the cover. So I don't know what to think.
But the only way to really know is to watch it. So let's crack open our beers and take a roller coaster to the stratosphere. This is Dark Universe.
So the movie starts off with an astronaut trying to get back into Earth's atmosphere and getting a message from the commander, Ron Kendrick, to welcome him back to Earth from a long voyage.
Kendrick Enterprises calling the Nautilus.
This is Rod Kendrick calling the Space Shuttle Nautilus. Are you out there, boy? Pick up your phone. I know you're out there. I can see you. The boys at Mission Control have hooked us up a satellite camera, and you're looking fine.
That's not creepy. So after the first 5 minutes or so, you start to notice that the production on this movie is very low grade. I mean, it looks like something that belongs on a sci-fi channel. It just has that cheap 50s feel. You know what I'm talking about? Like Gila Monster, It, one of those movies, but on a modern setting. I mean, for a movie that has really low budget doesn't mean it's going to be a bad movie. I mean, look at Sharknado and all the sequels coming after that. So you don't have to make a quality looking movie to be a good movie. Then out of nowhere, the ship starts having engine problems, causing the ship to go faster than normal into the Earth's atmosphere.
Steve, can you read me? What the hell is going on up there? This is Ground Control 1 to Nautilus. Do you read me? You are coming in too quickly.
As the astronaut is calling for help, something turns him into his favorite animorph, Batman, and we lose contact with him. As the ship is crashing down to the Earth's surface, we find a couple having a late-night study session for their anatomy final the next day. So as the ship is crashing down to Earth, the couple notice the ship and they think it's a shooting star.
It's a shooting star.
You should make a wish.
Okay.
Yeah, a shooting star that causes a huge fucking explosion that they don't even hear or see. So after they do that, they get back to their study session.
Meteorite.
Meteorite?
Yes. No.
Meteorite?
Yes. When a meteor enters the Earth's atmosphere, it's known as a meteorite.
Those are some nice tits. What? I'm just calling them what they are. See?
The great tit is a distinctive bird with a black head and neck, prominent white cheeks, olive upper parts, and yellow lower parts, with some variations among the numerous subspecies. The great tit is large for a tit. At 12.5 to 14 centimeters in length, it has a distinctive appearance that makes it easy to recognize.
I'm just calling them what I see them. What do you guys think I was talking about? Perverts.
Wow, I wonder what that looks like.
Wait a minute. This movie doesn't take place in a space station, let alone space at all. I mean, a movie cover that doesn't represent the movie? Thanks, 80s and 90s movies.
Then we see another group doing some bird watching.
There's not a soul around for miles. Doesn't it make you feel uninhibited?
Damn it, Ann. There's something in those trees over there.
Oh, really? How exciting.
Look, we came here to see some wildlife. I'm gonna go take a close look. Here, you might learn something.
I wonder if they're looking for any tits. Then they get attacked. Of course. So after that attack, we cut to a woman watching a TV report about the crashed ship.
I appreciate your concern. Unfortunately, I won't be answering any questions at this moment.
Oh yeah, I totally believe she's watching TV right now.
Yeah, I'm totally watching the TV now. Don't you believe me? I'm totally watching the TV.
We at Kendrick Corporation built and launched the space shuttle Nautilus. In part, we did this to show NASA how to operate an efficient and cost-effective space program.
I wonder if Elon Musk ever saw this movie and that's how he got his idea for SpaceX.
We at Kendrick Corporation built and launched the space shuttle Nautilus. In part, we did this to show NASA how to operate an efficient and cost-effective space program.
Mummy, I think I know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to make a privately owned space exploration company, and I'm going to beat NASA at their own game. How are you going to do that, son? Making a privately owned space exploration company that cost a lot of money. How are you going to make the capital to do that?
Be furious. Speed Buggy RCs from Fastlane. Supercharge your need for speed at over 125 scale miles per hour. Be fast. Be rugged.
Mummy, I think I just got the answer. Shortly after that, we cut to a band of scientists and news reporters coming onto the facility, and they claim that they're trying to find the ruins of an ancient civilization, and they need a tour guide through the jungle to find it.
Well, what are you looking for?
Well, it could be the single most important Amarin site in North America. We have reason to believe that there's a large Seminole Indian burial ground just waiting for us to excavate it. Some of the artifacts may date back as far back as the 14th century. So you can understand why we, as archaeologists, are very excited and eager about getting to them.
Then we get another cut to an old guy with his dog. Why is there always someone like this in these kind of movies? We see them all the time. We just know that they're gonna die.
Cracker! Cracker boy! What happened? Oh, Cracker.
I'm offended.
What the hell happened here? Oh. What am I going to do without you, Cracker boy?
So as they're going around searching for the ruins, in the middle of their trip, the crew gets nervous and they have to stop. And that's when Tom, the tour guide, tells them about the good old days.
Waiting. You know, this swamp can kill you in more ways you think possible. You step off this path, you'll find them. Snakes, alligators, even quicksand. The swamp's one living, breathing thing. It's almost like a complete entity. We're just fragments of it. Cells in an organism.
Highly fanciful, but an interesting theory.
Oh, it's not a theory, Frank. It's a feeling.
So as they're sitting around the campfire, the alien is stalking them, and as he's watching, he's having his Vietnam flashbacks.
What could possibly go wrong here?
Going back to the fire, Tom starts asking questions about the legitimacy of their trip, calling him out on why they're there.
You know, it just so happens I've got some questions for you, Professor. I mean, you are a professor, aren't you? Of archaeology?
Well, what do you want to know?
Well, for starters, this expedition is looking for a 14th century Seminole Indian burial mound. Am I correct?
Essentially.
Well, see, that's the thing. There were no Seminoles in Florida in the 14th century. Arawaks lived here then. Seminoles didn't come down from the reservations up north until the 18th century. They teach school kids that. Now, how come you didn't know it, Professor?
So she spills the beans on what's going on.
Do you know who Rod Kendrick is?
Should I?
He's a power broker. He's a very wealthy man.
Well, that's impressive. Is this leading somewhere?
Yeah, it is. Mr. Kendrick was upset about NASA's waste, so he decided to build and launch his own spaceship, the Nautilus. Kendrick's a real do-it-yourself kind of millionaire.
That's great work when you can find it.
The Nautilus ran into trouble on the way home.
Crashed into the swamp.
Right. How did you know that?
Judy and I saw something the other night. It was like a shooting star falling from the sky. Go on.
Well, Kendrick's not too happy that his spaceship crashed. So he sent Frank out here to find out what happened.
As the morning arrives, they go out to find the missing spaceship, but one of them starts complaining about how hard it's going to be to find this thing.
I mean, how in the hell are we going to find this spaceship? It's going to be so overgrown by the time we get there that we'll walk right over it. It's probably a bird sanctuary by now. How are we going to recognize it?
Well, that was easy. Why were you complaining about how hard it was to find this thing? Then you look to your right and boom, it's there. I guess you didn't look that hard. That's when they find the ship covered in a bunch of diarrhea. And of course, there's no body anywhere to be found.
He's not there. And there is no sign of a body.
Maybe the body's incinerated then.
So Miss Lady and the camera guy forget that they have to study for their final exams tomorrow, so they start to do their cram session right away, with another great pair of tits that just happen to show up. Then suddenly, they get attacked by an angry armadillo.
What the hell is going on here?
An armadillo? I mean, this movie takes place in Central Florida in the Everglades. You could have picked any other animal than an armadillo. You could have picked alligators, Burmese pythons, anything that comes from a swamp. But no, armadillos. Great choice.
Then, now they feel like it's a good time to check out the inside of the ship and discover that the brown-orange stuff is from outer space.
This mold or these spores, as you call them, where does this stuff come from?
I really can't say. Outer space. I wish I could be more specific.
Shocker. Anyway, the two other members die at base camp because, of course, where they get the lives sucked out of them. Interesting. So the alien leaves a piece of his dick cheese in the guy's hand when the guy decides to conduct an experiment in which the dick cheese turns into throw up and attacks the archaeologist.
Careful! That's acid!
Right, Frank?
Then the cameraman rises from the grave and starts attacking Miss Lady. Oh no, he has herpes. Neck bursters. Really?
I wonder where that's from. Let's get a good thinking or two. Aha! I see where this movie's going. Genius.
So in the next scene, they gather around the campfire to talk about what the hell that thing is and what they should do next.
We don't understand why this substance behaves the way it does, or what brings about these drastic mutations. But where there's intelligence, there's hope for communication, for understanding.
Are you saying the thing is Steve Thomas?
The pilot of the Nautilus.
Needs a little understanding? What do you want to do? Take it to lunch, Frank? Ask it about its childhood? Huh? Go ahead, it's still out there.
I don't know. Maybe it just needs some love. I mean, being an astronaut in space for long periods of time, it gets pretty lonely up there, so I bet he just wants to look at some tits. The birds, of course. I mean, there's no tits in space, I think. Could be wrong.
Then, the creature comes out of pitch blackness and attacks them during their campfire. After escaping the campfire, the alien decides to hit Tom the hardest by attacking his one true prized possession, his wife. This is where we get the final showdown with the alien and Tom, and that's disappointing. So they do the next best thing and try talking to it to see if the human side of him will come out.
There's one thing we haven't tried yet. That thing used to be Steve Thomas, a human being.
I mean, why even try this? He's not a human anymore.
You can say he's more human than human. Yeah, he's an astro creep with a demolition-style American hell yeah. Makes sense.
But I have to give him that chance.
He didn't give us a chance!
Steve Thomas. Steve, I'm sorry. We didn't know.
So that doesn't work because why would it? So they decide to light him on fire to see what that does. And you know what? It does the trick.
Suck on this!
How anticlimactic. She got bit. Will she become the new Astro Creep?
No, she doesn't. So that was Dark Universe, a pretty shitty alien ripoff, if you ask me. I mean, the thing looks like a xenomorph with herpes covered all over it. I mean, the acting's terrible, and the special effects are no worse or better than the acting. But that's what you get with one of these cheesy sci-fi movies. You get what you pay for. And I mean, for a movie that just happened to land on my door, it's kind of mediocre at best. I mean, it's sci-fi. It's a sci-fi movie. And this movie was made in 1993 with the alien craze way dead after that point. So the fact that they went to rip off Alien, or Aliens, whatever, which one, doesn't really make sense. So for a movie that has 7 dead bodies, 1 dead dog, 2 pairs of tits, shitty effects, aliens shooting tentacles out of their mouth to suck the life out of human beings, you gotta love it. 2 stars. And if you want to check it out, you can find it on Amazon Prime. So that's the review for today. See you next.
So I was looking around the internet for my copy of Dark Universe to see how much like the going price is going, and I found prices ranging from $30 to $40. Why would anyone want to pay that much for this shit?